My name is Kevin Limity. I'm a reporter of KDH News, and I'm here with Mayor Pro Tem Jessica Gonzalez. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Cool. So we just came out of a kind of a funky situation with the recall petition. It did not pass. There was at least 60 signatures that were not verified. How do you feel about that situation now, and how are you moving forward from here?
At the end of the day, I did state my feelings pretty clearly in the last statement I issued to the paper. But my hope is that, Kevin, that people will continue, now that the attention has kind of been cast, they're able to start doing their own research, and that they reach out with questions for clarity and understanding as to what's really going on in the city versus jumping to conclusions and just following a bandwagon of misinformation. So my hope is that the good that will come out of this is that we will be more connected and more focused and more engaged.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about, you mentioned that you wanted to see kind of like a quote-unquote hard reset of like what was it, connection or communication within the District 1. Is that something you're going to be working on?
So we've already been working on it, right? So I'm just hoping that this exposure will also raise awareness of the things that we've already had going on, and also prompt the citizens, as I stated earlier, to actually engage, right, in whatever way they can, because we understand not everybody can attend the meetings. Those are also, though, on video, so they can be watched either during or after. The documents are put up online for people to review. If they have questions, they can be submitted before, so we can pose those questions. We're doing town halls. I mean, none of those things have changed, right? But I'm just hoping that now, that as the citizens are engaging more, that they will understand all the good things that we have going on and how they can participate in whatever way works best for them and their family.
Yeah, that makes complete sense to me. And regarding like some of the citizens who did sign the petition for your recall, and given that it wasn't successful, do you have a message for them that maybe you would want to convey to them, considering that they were unhappy?
Right. So my understanding of the information that's being put out was that there was a lot of misinformation and some things that were stated that were absolutely not factual, right? And so my hope is that for those citizens, and I did put the challenge out there for them to reach out and inquire and ask questions and seek their own clarity and their own understanding. And I have to tell you, Kevin, it actually has happened. People have called me that I've not spoken to before who were inquiring about what is really going on, where can they get certain information, how do they find out X, Y, and Z. And so in that respect, I would say it's definitely been a positive. But there are a lot of things that are going on, some that are historical, and we all know good and well that you can't make changes overnight, and there are things that have been done that when we walked into council, we were having to pick up pieces from, right, to try to figure out how to make better or how to improve or to keep that ball moving so that didn't fall by the wayside, all while taking the new initiatives from 21 and moving forward and trying to figure out how to continue to grow. Now, I knew it was important when I started in council to have tangible, real results that people could see immediately, right? It was very important because for too many years there were lots of things that people felt weren't happening and there's nothing going on, but the wheels are in motion, right? And so when we came in, whether it was the donation of the ARPA funds, having the meetings with civic leaders who are in different volunteer organizations to get people out of their silos to start communicating, I'm very, very, very pleased with the results that we're having now with different organizations working together to get to reach a broader area of our demographics here. So there's a lot of things that we had to take on that were existing, working on things that are pre-existing, but if you come to District 1, you can see the fruits of the labors from the past and definitely things that we have authorized and done collectively as a council recently. And I'm very, very proud of those things.
And in terms of the misinformation, was there anything specific that you maybe wanted to address?
Yeah, so one of the things that kept coming up that was being utilized was regarding the grocery store. If I hear, again, that I am not doing anything or that I'm not present, that is absolutely not true. As I've said from the beginning, my charge is different than my predecessor's charge when she was put into council, and she did a wonderful job laying the foundation and groundwork. Some of the things that you see now are from Miss Shirley Fleming's tenure, the road at Gilmer, for example, that was an initiative that she pushed hard for to get those things done. So these things don't happen overnight, right? So having said that, it is really important that they understand that to say that nothing is going on is not a true statement. When it comes to the grocery store primarily, I'm suffering from that same challenge, right? That was one of the things I experienced before I even came on council. My mother was experiencing it when she was alive, and that we understand the challenges of having to drive 20 miles out to go get access to affordable groceries, and that's all of our challenge. But the fact is that this time I knew that strategically something different had to be done. We could not keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. So it had to be more strategic. We had to reach out to different people outside of our area to see if there was a way that they could help us, to look at investors, to look at grocery stores that were maybe smaller scale. I always talked about boutique grocery stores, because that model seemed to have been a better fit for the north side. And so we have brought in people from all over the country, all over the United States, to come and do go-sees here, exploring land options. And there's been wonderful citizens who own real estate in the north side who have said over time, here's my facility, can you guys use this? Will this work? So the community came together. Town halls were held, information sessions were out, even the paper, you guys did a timeline kind of trying to keep people on track of what was happening, because there's a lot of information, a lot of moving parts. We got a company to do a feasibility study and a construction study. Cities donated or identified land that could possibly be utilized for this grocery. So there's a lot of things happening right now that, unfortunately, when it comes to the grocery, it's not readily visible. But if we could snap our fingers in a perfect world and have a grocery store, we've already done that.
Yeah.
We would have already done that. But the message I have to the people is that I 100%, along with the council, said we would leave no stone unturned, and we are doing that. We are actively pursuing every single option that comes our way when it comes to this grocery store. I think that's the most important. They need to see that, and they need to know that. We just had a briefing recently, which is why we requested the economic development to update us, as well as the innovation chamber. That was part of that, just to kind of let people know where we were in the process. So again, I just challenge the folks that are with us in District 1 and wanting to know what's going on, tune into those meetings, reach out and call, reach out and email, whatever works best. But if they want an understanding, is to please just reach out and get it. I'll be happy to share all the good news and some of the challenges that we're facing.
Yeah. And in that respect, has there been any updates on like Oasis or any of the other grocery store prospects?
So at the last meeting, there's been a bid request that's been submitted for a development that would include the anchor store for the grocery. As of my understanding, the first one, there was not a lot of feedback in return. They've resubmitted the bid request, and so I hope that in the next couple of weeks we'll have an update from the city to see if there's been any takers on that or any bids that have been received.
Okay. Do you think that the council is going to get that update maybe at like at one of the upcoming meetings, like maybe like the newest one? Or?
So probably not the 6th, but what I can do, Kevin, is find out when that window closes for the bid request, and then once I get that information from the city manager's office, I'll be happy to share it with you guys.
Okay, that's fine. All right. So anything that you're working on for District 1 right now?
Yes. So we've got several businesses that are coming and relocating to our industrial park, some that are there now that are doing tremendous things, Dongjen being one of the recent additions to our industrial park. That is partner with Samsung. They provide a service to Samsung, and they have their first U.S.-based headquarters right here in the city of Killeen, right? So they've broken ground. They're obviously in process, and we've got several businesses in that business park that are expanding and growing, and so there's a lot of good things happening there. So to continue to work with the Economic Development Corporation in raising awareness to the city of Killeen, the benefits that we have for other industry, that's really a push of mine that I'm going to continue to work on. Our downtown revitalization is well underway. So, for example, we're going to be getting an update soon on our Main Street designation request. The reason that's important is because now that we've got the stimulation of the businesses downtown, people are actually coming in. We've got the Southern Roots Brewery, for example. They've got I think it was 32 or 37% of their visitors are actually transitional. They come to visit their location because of the type of brewery that it is.
Yeah.
So that's going to bring a different type of clientele and base. And so our goal is to still create that walkability in the downtown area. So there's things to do. We've talked about additional transportation lines. Rosa Herford's community center is being worked on, that's underway right now in District 1. We're still working on, again, the grocery store, partnering with some of our community leaders for our youth development programs. Those are happening right now. Expansions at the Boys and Girls Club. There's a lot of good things, Kevin, that are happening. And I wouldn't want to info dump on anyone, but what I do recommend is that our constituents go on to the City of Colleen's website, and they can sign up for alerts on any of the committees or information that is relevant to them and their families, and you can sign up for those notifications so that you can see when the next meetings are, when the information's out, when those agendas are coming out. They can get those notifications, and I think it's really important for our community to stay connected that way.
Okay.
But there's a lot of good things happening. There's a lot more. We got Anthem Park, right? That's 200 plus units. We've got Dave & Buster's the ground is broken right now on that location. 200 plus, it's a mixed use facility. The acreage, it's 200 plus acres. Mixed use facility. Dave & Buster's is one of the first ones that's going in there. It's groundbreaking right now. That's exciting. So there's a lot of things that we brought, to fruition that are here that they can go and people can actually drive by and see the tangible results of our efforts. The more we continue to highlight our city in a positive way, the more that we continue to show that the City of Killeen is open for business and willing to be business friendly, as well as creating a community of support and activism and activity, right? You have to have a quality of life here as well. It's very important. As long as we continue to work on those things, we're going to put ourselves in a very good position. And I am excited because the people also know that, and they're motivated for that. We've been hungry for that, and right now we're on the cusp of that if we can just keep the wheels moving.
All right. Okay, well, I guess that's about all I have to ask. That's about all the questions I have, but I guess if there's anything else you want to add that maybe I didn't think to ask, you're welcome to say anything.
Yeah, well, just that I love my hometown. I'm from here, born and raised. The goal for me is to leave my city better than what I found it, to have a positive impact on the future growth and development for our city, and to help each and every one of our constituents ideally have the opportunity to live the best quality of life they can here in the Killeen, Texas area. We are, as I said before, the heart of Central Texas. We're one of the most diverse cities in Texas. We are holding ourselves to a high standard. We have a high expectation for our growth and being taken seriously on many levels. And so my hope is that the constituents continue to see the hard work that not only I am doing, but the council is doing, to understand that we have to see a bigger picture. So when it comes to finding monies for our roadways and getting the things that we need to have done on infrastructure, we have to start really partnering and focusing on relationships and cultivating those relationships and maintaining those relationships with our state representatives, our federal representatives, because that's where in which a lot of our funding is going to come from, the other mechanisms, and we need to be able to tap into that. We are not a small city. We're definitely growing, and there's a lot of opportunity for us that I want to make sure that we capitalize on and have an opportunity to get.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, that was Mayor Pro Tem Jessica Gonzalez. Thank you very much. This is Kevin Libby for KDH News. Thank you.
You're welcome.